And it's more and more about involving people, about designing friction-free channels for people to contribute and collaborate. One of the most powerful ways you can punch above your weight and become more than the sum of your parts as an organization is to design what I call an architecture of contribution, which is just a way that you enlist and enroll and mobilize a rich mix of creative, passionate, talented people wherever they sit in your organization or beyond to help create the future of your organization. A leader that I've gotten to know over the years who absorbs that logic kind of more intuitively than most is a guy named Jim Lavoie. So Jim is the founder of Right Solutions. It's a software company based in Middletown, Rhode Island. They make complex systems for the Department of Defense, emergency decision makers, first responders, and the back office of casinos. And he is a self-described refugee from big defense. He spent most of his career as an executive in big defense companies. And when he went off to start his own company, he did so with sort of refreshing intellectual humility. And he remarked to me, he said, you know, the one thing I know is that the best, the freshest, the most relevant ideas tend not to come from senior management. How could I design an organization based on that insight? And in fact, his design question was, how do I create an organization, a company, where everyone feels relevant to the future of the company? And Right Solutions, in many ways, is a portfolio of approaches and systems and practices that try to answer that question. The cornerstone is a stock market-based game called Mutual Fun. It's sort of Bloomberg Terminal meets Monopoly board. And the idea is not to trade stocks, but to generate, develop, and invest in new ideas. Now, clearly, this is not the slickest online platform out there, but it was infinitely engaging and productive. So I just want to spend a minute to tell you how it works. So any employee at Right Solutions gets $10,000 of opinion money, not real money, but opinion money. And anyone can fill out a profile and become an intellectual capitalist. If you have a new idea to float, you write an expect us instead of a prospectus, and then you list it on the Bow Jones or the Spazdak. You can kind of see their kitschy little personality coming through. It works for them. And once your idea goes up on the board, it gets its own ticker and its page with all the information around it. And an algorithm dynamically determines the value of every stock, every portfolio, and it creates a sort of all kinds of fun leaderboards to look at. And then very importantly, anybody working on an idea can ask their colleagues to help assist to develop it. This is a list of budget items, don't try to read it, but the point is that you can say, hey, does anybody have 20 hours to do some coding work or 30 hours to do some research? And your colleagues essentially vote with their feet to work on the ideas they think have the most promise. Those ideas that hit the top 20 on Mutual Fund actually get a small sort of bucket of money, support, slack time in order to actually further the development and kind of test the ideas to sort of prove them out. Any idea that actually becomes real in terms of cost savings or revenue generation, the people who got involved in it actually share in those rewards. Very, very quickly, this became the conversation inside Right Solutions. It became kind of a dynamic heat map of where all these young, talented, brilliant people thought the future was.